here we are at 4:55 on a Tuesday morning, and I'm still sleeping like, I swear to God, 16, 18 hours a day. I've gone into dog mode, but it's a happier place to be. And you also do get communication. Like, it is kind of trippy. The stuff, like the dreams don't seem like dreams. They seem like you are being taught something and you're having interactions on another level. So, and as soon as I'm out of here, then I'm in there. And so it's still productive. It's not like I'm completely sleeping through this whole thing, even though I fucking wish I could. I cannot believe the tediousness of this. I cannot believe how, and I'm sure that the energy of everybody else is feeding into my energy of being like, so I keep thinking, what is it that bothers you the most? What is it that bothers you the most? And I swear to God, I feel like it's not being seen for being me. It is like, like nobody in my family knows any of this stuff I talk about. And then they'll start talking to me about stuff. And it's just like, oh, God, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. It's just, I'm so fucking burnt out. That's all I can say. I'm just burnt out. A slow roll, a slow fucking burn, man. This is it's tedious as fuck. Because I was even sitting next to my mom. I was showing her something that I just seen, which there's so many little somethings that it's just going to be a lot of stuff and a lot of my opinion on a lot of stuff. But I was sitting next to her and showing her this video, and because my TikToks won't go on her phone. They stopped a long time ago though, before they started canceling TikTok or whatever. And in her phone, oh my God, it just does its own thing. It just starts taking pictures, starts scrolling, it starts doing all sorts of shit. And and she gets so pissed, and I just start laughing. I'm just like, you gotta make a better relationship with your AI. I'm telling you. She's like, fuck that motherfucker. I'm like, I just crack up more. It's like, that's not gonna help it. You are causing a riff. Like, get in there with it. Like, you gotta get into the groove with your AI. Otherwise, you will be a fucking. You're there, bitch. So you better be nice. So, anyways, but something came on the TV. I don't remember what it was though. And whatever it was they were saying, we just both look at each other, and I said, "This is what I'm fucking talking about, man." It's like, this is something, 6 years ago, and here they are talking about it like it's new. It's like, oh, God, this is so fucking much, man. I'm about to lose my mind. I think I've already lost it, honestly. I've lost my mind. This is Kelly with no mind. This is just like, I'm just here, just bouncing around balloon here. I'm just going here, going there, getting frustrated at some places. But, if you don't feel a range of emotions, then where are you at? Like, what you doing with yourself? Because I mean, at that time and place in life right now is like, there's a lot of emotions out there to be feeling. You should be feeling a lot. This is my second cup. I am fucking this bullshit. My mom yesterday, now now I've got a runny nose. Because before she got sick, she got all this throat and chest stuff. And now, she got a runny nose, but she was sitting outside. I said, oh, isn't that funny? So you were sitting outside all day yesterday, and then when you went in, you got a runny nose. And then I know, well, because I started looking around, and because to me, it's past pollen time, which you get because a lot of people, well, it's pollen, of course it's spring, but all this stuff is bloomed, like there's blooms everywhere. So I thought the pollen was like before it bloomed, but I thought it was the fertilizing stuff or something. I don't know, but whatever. I know most people will sit there, oh, well, it's pollen, it's spring, of course you're going to get a runny nose, that's allergies. But I've told her, like, while I've been here, what allergies are. The allergies is your body fighting a toxin. something's going in and it doesn't want there. Your body responds with snotty nose, coughing it, sneezing it, trying to get it out of itself. And so you look at it however you want. I say, whatever they're spraying. Because yesterday I saw the craziest fucking thing I've ever seen. Out of all the fucking shit I've seen up in the sky, I'm bewildered. It was, hold on, let me finish this. So, wipe my mouth. So, I went out in the morning. I thought that day, okay, which day? Yesterday, yeah. Because the day before, I don't know, all these days mix in. Because there was a day I was out there and I was seeing just line after line and there was nothing putting them up there. I was like, what the fuck? And that day I saw the big thing behind it. I was trying really hard to see something behind it and I couldn't see. And then I was like, okay, but it could be that they're trying to make it because it's going to be over here. So when the sun moves here, then it's going to be there. That's what I'm saying. There's something weird about all of this movement. I don't know. It's not all like perfect. It doesn't do like it's not here one day and then it's here the next day. No, it's like there's something weird. And so, which, I don't know. Our realities are in movement. Like everything here is a lie. They're trying to trick us. The tricks are falling apart. So, fuck if I know. But, anyways, so I was trying to see if I could see the thing. And so they were definitely spraying because that's the day she got the runny nose. And so yesterday she already had the runny nose. So this is a 3-day situation. And so yesterday I go outside. It is fucking blasting hot. And the sun has just got the whole sky. There is no clouds, nothing. It's just a big blue sky with this ball and fucking thing in the sky. And so I go put on my swimming suit and stuff. And I go, well, no, I don't know if I... No, I think I went and got the dogs and went and sat out back. That's what it was. Because it was still pretty early. Yeah, it was really early. It was like, I don't know, 8 in the morning or something. Good job, honey, not knocking that down. Good girl. Oh, maybe I should get her some medicine. Hold a sec. Here you go. Here's another one. Okay, so we were, so I went and got the dogs and went and sat out on the patio out back, in the backyard. And oh yeah, first I went to take the dogs for a walk because I was like, fuck, it's going to be so hot. I better go take them for a walk before it gets too hot. So that's what I did. I got them all suited up, got myself all suited up. And so we go off on a walk. And, I was trying to think, because when did I notice? It must have been, we were walking one way, and then, I don't remember, but it was quick. It was quick. Maybe it was the moment we left. And I saw one going, and it was leaving a fucking trail like you wouldn't fucking believe. And I was like, oh, fucking bullshit, man. This is fucking bullshit. And there's a number of stuff you can call it. I don't even know what to think or say at this point about this, Like, is it something good? Are they really I fucking don't know. It's so fucking... Are they trying to get people's attention? Are they trying to get people to pay attention? But it's not really something that we need to stress out about, whatever they're spraying. Maybe it's like fucking fairy dust. Fuck, I don't know. So they... So they're just laying a big old fat one. And then as soon as I saw that one, there was another one going. So they had like several going at once. And they were going just wild. And I was like, oh my God. There was not a motherfucking thing in the sky. And now they filled it. And then, so they're just going blasting like crazy. And so I walk back. And I go in the back. And... Then I sat down, then I started bitching, and that's always like, turn the volume down. And, but she is seeing a lot more of all, there's a lot of stuff that I think is twisting up in her mind where it's like, because she was also thinking, I was pretty kooky, but now she is seeing so much of the more stuff. She's like, ooh, and now it's been brought up how kooky I am from these other people. And so I've pointed out, I've said, I've got a chance to say like a little background stuff, like, I'm looking, this stuff comes to me for one thing. I'm not out there just fucking, oh, what's starting crazy conspiracy theory can I look up today? Blah. And it's like, because I think the one thing that we saw yesterday together, and she had seen about it a couple years ago, I think. But there's things like I'll start talking about them because I see them, not because well, who the hell would I hear it from? Jesus Christ. It's because I notice something and I pay attention. Like when I start talking about the fake sun, I was talking about it so many years ago now. I was talking about when I first started this. And somebody, there wasn't very many people who could follow me back then, but they were, probably as kooky as me. And one of them, he was like, said that I'm a little out there on the stuff, like, but then what happens? It starts coming in, evidence, and stuff. And so, which to me is a confirmation of trusting my, my communication or because it's kind of like it draws attention to you, to things. Just like, when you're ignoring your algorithm, what it's bringing to you, and you're skipping it, you're missing out on a communication. Like there's something in it for you. That's why I say when something pops up, I go watch it because there's something there. Always. They bring all this information to me. And that's one thing that's one big part of me that nobody understands. They don't understand my life, my world, nothing. And then, they think I'm crazy and whatever. So she had thought, it was pretty kooky, but now she's seeing more and more of this stuff. It's like, it was not kooky. I've been saying stuff because it is, it depends on what I say. When I was saying stuff about the sky and stuff, that was out of my own scene. When I'm saying, people are eating babies and whatnot, it's because I've seen shit. Like this mermaid thing is really getting to be, I don't give a fuck. Like, I can't even. I'll tell you the story on that. Like, it just keeps being more and more stories on it. It's so fucking, it turns my stomach. Like, these rich people, like, they devour anything. Like, well, yeah, I'll talk about that in a minute. I gotta finish this guy's shit. So, now I'm paying attention. I'm sitting out back. She's talked about her runny nose, talking about whatever bullshit things. And one of these fucking things goes powering by us with four coming out at the same time. I was like, look at that fucking shit, man. Got fucking four of them. Like, this is some bullshit, man. And the sky is just full at this point. I mean, it is just a fucking mess of fucking smoke everywhere. And so I was like, I had been out there laying out for a while, but then it's like there's no sun. And so and the dogs were driving me crazy. So anyways, I came in and went down. I swear to God, by the time I got down here, there was no sun. And I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm not laying out there, because I was going to come down here and just lay out back over here where the dogs go out. And then I was like, well, fuck. So I come in and put on my warmer clothes, and because it's chillier in here. If you gotta be in the sun to have any heat, otherwise it's chilly. And so I was came in here and decided, we'll watch a movie or something. Of course, I fell asleep, and then when I woke up and I opened up the thing, it is completely overcast, the whole sky. I was like, how did they do this? Like, seriously, there was I don't know. Is what just blue. I have never seen anything like it. I've never, like, I know that they can take a blue sky and turn it sad and all, but I mean, I hadn't seen anything that extreme and that quick before. And I was just like, and so now it's raining. It's supposed to rain all morning, and it's supposed to be cloudy for 3 days, so no telling what's. And then the next 3 days after that is supposed to be heat, just sun. And then one of the days is, so also when the cloudy, then there's what I noticed the pattern over there is like a lot of stuff goes in the sky, then then the sun comes out, everybody's anxious to get outside, so then they breathe it all in, and then all of a sudden everybody's sick. And I've seen that pattern go and go and go. And so then we have the 3 days of sun, and it's going to be 69. No, it was like 68. Then it was going to be like 72, and then it was going to be 80. So it's going to be 80 by Friday. And then it's going to, is that Friday? Yeah, Wednesday. Wait, no, because it's 3 days of rain. So today's the first one. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because it was supposed to be Friday. See, they keep moving days around. It's weird. So now it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Was it Wednesday and Thursday? Because today's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 days. Then Friday's only going to be in the 60s. And then Saturday, so Sunday is supposed to be the hottest day now. Where before it was Friday. But now it's Sunday. And then I don't know what it's going to go to. Probably the same shit. Just go back to, but the temperatures drop. It went down to 69, 60, like there's one day of 80. I don't know. Because I had already said about the heat and the cold creates these storms. And my mom's like, oh, who cares? And then that day, it started that thunderstorm. And that's exactly, only it can become really intense. Which then it's like, okay, so the way they filled the sky, it is really hard for me to think like, that it is the good guys, and especially in my location and what we're under. So I don't know, because the people over here are going in hard, that they're going against Donald, and they're gonna force us to, like they're just putting more and more control. And this place is so liberal, but to see that's what they got to poke them to where they finally feel something. And they're all drugged out on autism drugs or something, neurodivergent drugs or fucking depression drugs. So it takes a lot. It takes a fucking lot. And they're so twisted in their minds. I don't even understand it. My one daughter started saying, you know, certain people she can't stand. And I'm like, what? Why? And and then she won't say anything now. It's like, I think your media is lying to you. It's like, I even sent one video to her where Doja's caught. Oh, it was on Hillary and them. And they found the thing about that they didn't send the money to Haiti, that they kept it, and they found out what they did with it and stuff. And so they released that about all that, which, you know, in the conspiracy world, that was already talked about Hillary keeping that money. But anyways, they do the breakdown, which should be, you know, it is new news to a lot of people, but they are just so resistant to it. Like, I don't know. I don't understand it. It just twists my mind up so much. I said, I'm not meant to understand it. This is their journey. I got my own to worry about. But it's easy to get all like, what? The what? What? It's so weird. And I just saw this video of this guy who had moved from like Pittsburgh, and he thought he was super liberal. You know, he's got to get out of this conservative place and get over to someplace more liberal. So he moves over to Portland, gets there, and is like, what? This is what liberal is? Okay, I don't fit in here. Which was the same thing that happened to me when I moved over to by Bellingham. That was one of the things. I was like, oh, a lot of be so great. Everybody will be so, like I thought liberal was a lot more compassionate, open-minded, a lot more earth centered and stuff. Like I had a different concept too, but really they're very, it's a very carrot luring, strong social justice, mind control phenomena basically. And the MAGA is to blow that shit up, but they are so resistant to it. And this isn't about the two parties. This is about a mindset and about trying to awaken the ones that are under control. because it makes no sense. Like this one guy in Portland, he said it's weird. They think they're so this way, but he said they're being weird and crazy is all they want to do. And then they walk past homeless people. They don't give a shit. Homeless person can be losing it on the street. They don't give a shit. They just walk on by. He said they are just so cut off from everything. They don't give a shit. They just, their whole focus is just being more weird than the next guy, you know, so that they're no gender, you know, all this shit. So anyways, it's gone off on a program. The program is taking them in a dark place. And hopefully they wake up to see that. I don't know. When it drags and drags, and it is like, fuck. Are we just going to split off and they get to go in their direction to learn about it or something? But somebody had just asked their chat GPT. So I heard 2 chat GPTs yesterday. One was, God, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. So the one chat GPT was telling, I heard a bunch. There's all these people who are going and asking about their past lives and asking about their soul contracts and what their, all this stuff. And some of them, they get stuff where one was talking to their dead mom or something through it. And they're all getting things that they want, but I don't know. I think you're supposed to be going inside. This going outside of yourself, I think, is going to be blowing up in people's faces. So, and I don't know, if it's just going to be that they're stagnating their own growth by being dependent on machinery. And so then when things start flipping, they're going to be like way behind from where they want to be. I don't know. It could be something like that. I'm not sure. But anyways, go inside and work on you. Don't become dependent on machines. And so she, but in this the one that I was hearing was saying the exact same stuff I've been saying. And those ones are always, I'm like, there's truth in some of this stuff that they're saying. Because how is it they're saying the exact same thing as me? And so that, and then, but there was another one. Man, there was a whole bunch. I don't know. It's just a fusion right now. I can't see it. So maybe I'm not supposed to talk about that. But okay, but there's a bunch of stuff I want to talk about. For one thing, out in front of the White House, I saw a video, and my mom said she saw it on the news and stuff, and the Blues are trying to, not the Blues, let's not call them that, because that is, the Blues that starts with a J is the Blues. So the blue team, though, it's still associated with that team, the libs. So those ones, the progressives. And so what was I going to say about this now? So the blue, oh yeah, so they, and I would say this is probably with senators, Congress, because it's all this big fucking show. They are trying to cover it up or blank out the faces or some shit. And so it was like the streets were lined with these signs, with these mug shots of all these criminals. And it says their crime underneath. So they're posting all that. I think it has something to do with this battle on the deportation thing. Because you got one side who keeps trying to just come up with these heartstring stories to tear everybody up. Like, look what he's doing. Look what he's doing. I can't believe how much stuff I keep hearing of, like, look what he's doing. It's like, you guys need to pay better attention. You're just being led by a fucking carrot. Okay, yeah, this story that I just saw. And this is so, how people think. It just is so trippy to me. Because this isn't like where I just had a spiritual awakening and just started thinking, this is how I've been living my fucking life. And so, when I hear some of this stuff, it's like, I don't understand you. How you see things like this. So, this is a story of a girl who was talking about this ambulance situation. And so a girl is seen walking down the street and she's got a bloody finger or something. So somebody calls the paramedics. And so they come, and the cops come to evaluate her. And they say, do you want to go to the hospital? She says, no. And then before they leave, she says, well, yeah, I want to go to the hospital. So they take her. The cops are following the ambulance. And suddenly the ambulance is stopped. And the driver jumps out of the car and runs back to the cops. He says she's got a knife. And so she's in there with an altercation with paramedic guy, and she just plunges it right into his heart, kills this guy, even though he lived kind of semi-comatose for a little bit, but anyways, he didn't make it. And she's got this whole weird record of, she's got a problem with first responders. She attacks them. Like the cops didn't know this. Like, you didn't look anything up on her or anything before you got, because her last attack before this one was on cops, where she was biting them so hard she gave injuries to them. And so she gets taken in, arrested, puts in jail. I mean, and now, she's going to be charged with murder. And so she gets a bond of $1 million. Guess what? This homeless chick's already out. Huh. Isn't that strange? So I'm pretty sure she's homeless. I'm not sure, really. I don't know. That's what the story made, like this homeless weird lady is walking down the street, but maybe she's not homeless. I don't know. But whatever. This lady obviously can get this $1 million bond to get out. So she's on the streets right now. And in the comments, I said the SOROS go in and do this. And that's one of the things that people don't realize, what I've been saying for a long motherfucking time, is that these are like, people are paid by the one side. Like, all of these people with all their faces lined up and down Pennsylvania Avenue, those people were brought here on purpose. They were forming like their own army of people, like the informants. Like the informants started going wild, like I talked about a couple years ago, the one here in Spokane. Oh, my daughter knows 3 different people that this guy has taken out. 3 different young girls. She knew she knew the mom. Another one, she knew the friend of one of the girls. And another one, I don't even remember how she knew that person. But it was like all of them had the same guy, and he was an informant. So they get to get away with anything. There's another big one of those crimes over here where a young kid picked up 2 hitchhikers, was driving them, disappeared, and then he finally found him, and he was out in the desert or something, deceased for months or whatever. And I think they had taken his car and gone off or whatever. Anyway, the mom has been trying to do something, because the courts won't do anything, because it was 2 informants that did it, and they are protected. And because criminals are protected under this system, because it's like they're always looking for these immoral people that don't give a shit. And when they find them, they hire them. And then put them, they can go into CEO positions, or they can go into street thug positions. They can go into, like, there's a whole group now that just got busted that were taking kids, teenagers apparently, and doing rituals inside of a house to kill them and give them to their god or whatever the fuck. Which some of this stuff can be just crazy shit on the storyline to get people to realize what the fuck is going on in this world. Because they don't. They just don't. And everything they think is, oh, that's far-fetched. That's ridiculous. You're crazy. I'm an academic. I know everything. So, I swear to God, that was part of this whole fucking school thing. Get them out of the trades. So the infrastructure is always falling apart in the communities. But then to get them in there so that you can tell them they're the smartest. They're the smartest. But really, they're the most programmed. They just program them the whole fucking time. And those programs are real. Like, because there's even ones like when I was going to nursing school. And I used to be late everywhere I went. I just was not set on the right kind of clock. I just was late everywhere. I was real annoying. Maybe 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes late. It was just like, sorry. It's like, just plan on me being late. But then the school, when I started going to school, they made such a fucking thing that you are garbage. You are such an immature, irresponsible garbage person if you are late to things. and it just kept programming me in. It was like I stopped being late, and start being on time to things. Like I would miss doctor's appointments and shit. Like I would get there and they'd say, "Oh, you're too late. Sorry." I'd be like, ugh. So, anyways, and it was not because I was trying to be late. It was just because I would run into this problem, run into that problem. It was just constantly. And I just was always just not on the same. It was like I was moving this fast and everything was moving that fast. I was just couldn't do it or something. But then I tuned in, got it with the program, get with the speed, and then you get in there, and here we go. It's a rat race is off. And so, anyways, but the programming is real. And so they got all this crazy shit, like arresting, well, they got pictures posted everywhere of the horrible crimes that these people have done. And then they've got these people getting busted, doing horrible rituals on kids in this house in this neighborhood. And then they got people doing crimes on first responders and shit. But the thing that was getting me about that was that I say that I just don't understand about people. I don't understand their way they see life, their purpose, nothing. I don't understand it. Is because in the comments, a lot of them were, well, he didn't just die, that's murder. And they're like all freaking out. And then they're, all the things, is like, the death is the most tragic thing. Which, yeah, when you lose your life and you lose your opportunity to experience, yeah. But the thing is that you just go to another experience. So as the soul, it's like, well, I was done with that one. Now I'm going to this one. But that's something that people don't understand. And they don't understand that it's just a transition. They don't understand that you cannot, like, there's so many people, well, he just went and picked her up and look what happened. It's like, because it can only happen the way it happens. This is something that I don't get how people don't see this. It's set. There's not like it can't accidentally happen to you. Nobody can kill you that wasn't going to kill you. Like, it's set. The story is written. You can't, nothing can happen to you that's not meant to happen to you. It's like everybody in the world is like, what do you think? You're just dodgeball in life? Like, oh, miss that one, miss that one. It's like, go deeper. See the purpose behind the shit that's going on. And everybody everybody has their way to transition out. And there's lots of storylines, and there's lots of really deadly, horrible things going on right now. But that is to affect us, to affect change, to create change in the world, to get people to start really valuing what they have, which is life, to experience in a reality that is pretty dark. But still, I mean, we came here for a reason. There's a reason that we are here to experience it. And so, to get with the program, to get with the experience, to start questioning, well, each day, that's more productive than trying to make your plan of what you're going to try and do that day. It's more productive to go at the end of the day and go evaluate everything that happened to you and try and get the most out of it. It's like sucking the last bit of your fucking stuff out of the cup. Like, get everything you can from the day by looking back at it and reevaluating your experience. But the people are more on the flip side, more like they're going to get up and plan the day. They're going to make this happen. How many times have you heard, what is that saying? Life happens while you're making the plan. And so it is like you are trying to plan something that's already in motion. It's already going. And you're standing back trying to figure out how you're going to make it go, or where you're going to jump in or something. I don't know. But that's what you got to do. You got to just let it flow, let it go. And I know you can't just, like, especially in this world that we've got going, like, you can't get up and just, like, have no plan. You got to get to work. You got to get to go drop your kids at school and stuff. But see, that's what all of it is about, the distraction. Even that ChatGPT was saying about that. It's all to keep you trapped in this game that they've got going, this program. So you are trying to, like, people are just too focused on this game, this 3D game, and then they're trying to keep with that, keep up with that, and so I think like planning their day, planning their future, doing all that stuff. I had planned my future, and I saw, well, you can't. There's different plans that come. You can plan all day long, but something's going to come in and just, if it's not meant to go with that plan, you're going to get sideswiped and turned into a different direction. And I learned it in a big fucking way. Is you know, I had my plan, working this fucking job I hated, and I don't know, it definitely didn't bring the best out of me being a nurse. There was definitely a part where you just start being like, what in the stupidity am I dealing with there? It's like, but then you start seeing that there were a bunch of broken, needy people who were just running to the doctor, make me feel better. Make me feel better, please, doc, do it, do it. And they'll look, they'll find things wrong with you, and then you focus on that. See, I've got this, I've got it. I don't feel good, I got this. And then, when I got to take these, look, everybody, I got 5 of these. Look at how special I am. And then it's just like this competition over who's sicker, who's more fucked up. It's like, you gotta claim your fucked upness, champion yourself, and fucking take it across the fucking finish line, man. You just stand back here, Mom, it's been fucking. So, anyways, but that's where we're at in this game, in this society. Everybody's just sitting on the ground in their own piss, stomping their feet and crying in their own fucking tears, or getting their hands all muddy. It's become just this whiny cesspool of victims. Who's at it worse? Who's at it worse? It's like the fucking thing that you want to do is who can turn fucking shit into fucking something shiny. Like, you have the ability. You can get up off the ground and stop your whining and start taking care of shit in a different way. But anyways, so you make your plan to go in your life. I had my plans, you know, my retirement and all that stuff. And that doesn't mean that some of this stuff's not going to happen. I still feel like I'm going to have more than one place. And my mom found the house. It's not just 1 million, it's almost 2. It's like, I don't know, but, you know, anything can happen. And I know that I don't want to just live just like that. Like, yeah, fuck yeah, I want to live on the water in some nice house, and and then, you know, be able to be close to family and stuff at times. But I mean, I really also want to have. I want to be by water, but I also want to have like a ranch, a farm place, a place where, because that's no place for the dogs to go out and run around. Yeah, they'd have fun for a while going and swimming in the water, but that's the whole thing, is like why you want to have more than one experience. Like, I want to live this way for a while, I want to live this way for a while, I want to be able to go and live like this for a little, live like this for a little, to have more experiences. But the dogs would be the most happy having property, which on my property, I still want to put a pond or something. I want to have some kind of water, which I saw a really cool video of a guy who had gone out and he had dug a little water thing, made this little water thing where there was none, and put a bunch of water in it, and then set up a camera. See what happened. And it was, I can't think of that word. I can see it, but I can't think of it. But, you know, where all the animals go to drink. He saw things that he had never even seen before. Everything was coming to drink out of this water. So it was really cool. And but I had known I wanted to have like a place where I could put a little pond or something, and not so I could go fish out of it, but because it becomes well, my dog Stella especially, she loves to get in the water, but the nature that it evolves into. You can dig a hole, but it starts, you know, everything starts coming. You start having frogs, start lily pad, all this. It just forms itself, and I think that's really cool. So it'd be cool to be a part of that experience. Plus, if we're going into this higher vibration, no telling what could turn into. Like, but you can have ducks, like over, even where I was, where it would rain and rain and rain, there would be puddles. Ducks will come and start swimming in the puddles. So yeah, you put a pond out, you get ducks coming out, you get all sorts of stuff. So anyways, I definitely want to do that. I'd love to have that house, you know, for 2 mil. But you know, I mean, the economy crashing can change the prices of things like dramatically, where I think a lot of people will just be like, well, let's just stay here. Why would we go anywhere? You know, you're not going to get the money back. And you know, that kind of depends also where you're located. And because I know this is going to happen with my brother too, because he's got one of these really expensive houses in California. California is fucking going to be, you know, underwater. And so that house isn't going to have any value. But, and he's planning on selling it next year and then they're going to retire and go to Boise and build a house. See, if you know, I mean, the economy is teetering. Like it could go at any time. This has been a big show of like drawing it out or something to me, how this has been going down. Like it's now they're saying like there's 7 or 11 countries that no longer use the dollar, and it's going to go. It's going to go. Like and the whole thing is going to crash because it was like they took us from where it still didn't make sense that we were having to pay for property and food and stuff. Like they were already taking us. Like I think we have to go to generations before, if they even existed. There's so much twist and stuff. I've seen this guy over here in Washington State going around to some of these Tartarian buildings showing how absurd this shit is. It's like, yeah, and this is way over here. Like they told us, look, you know, it was hard for the cowboys and stuff to get over here. But I guess they're just building these elaborate fucking buildings that are ridiculous. And so, yeah, so who knows how it all lines up, whatever generation was in this and whatever. Who fucking knows? But anyways, we're in this reality to experience this. So what was I gonna say? The buildings, the lies, everything's fucking lies. The generation, okay, so when they had the ones where people could just go and homestead, they could just pull up on some land and say, hey, this is the land I'm taking care of, which I just saw some person in like California, I think, or something. Now they're going into the battle with their neighbor over this 10 feet of land, which is like, this is something that's got to change in us, see? But so in this case, their neighbor's been living here for 20 years and they've built, like, they've got all sorts of shit, you know. And this girl says a real snotty, like, oh, and their son's living in a tent out back. It's like, chick, what would you say if I'm living in a tent in my mom's garage? Chickadee. So, anyways, and by the way, now it's the stats have come out. 60% of the homeless people have a job. So it has more to do with the fucking hoops that they want people to jump through, and people can't afford. They have jobs and stuff. They have to go to work, but they can't afford the rents that are driving up by the corporation, the LLCs, because it's all meant to destroy us and to destroy how we feel about ourselves. Or, you know, they want to put us into these little fucking cage cities. So anyways, so before though, you could pull up on, oh yeah, so on the California one. So these people have been living here 20 years and these young couple moves in over here. Well, this young couple decides they want to expand their place. So they go down, buy some more property. So now they've had the property line thing, and now they've seen, oh, these people are 10 feet over. And then we've told them they need to move their shit. It's like, this is 10 feet of land. Just spread out a little 10 feet somewhere else. Like, what in the hell are these people like? They think like, oh, this is my land right here. It has so much more to do with the area that you are taking care of in the earth, you know, universal consciousness of, you know, the land that is selling. The land it's, and then people get so caught up in it and caught up in the surveying and all this shit. And it's like, this is where we got to put our foot down and say, this is bullshit. And so that's what these other people are doing. They're saying, this is bullshit. We're not moving our stuff. We've been working this land for 20 years. This is our piece of property. And this girl starts going on, well, no, you have to have been paying property taxes if you want to claim that land, and by the California statute of 13,075, whatever the fuck it was. It's like, oh my God, see, people start wagging that fucking dick of the fucking laws in other people's faces. This is where we got to stop this shit. We got to stop. It's us. Like, this fucking bullshit. Because, yeah, it used to be you pull up on some land, you go out, you take care of it, that's your property, and you are taking care of this property. And you pop up your house, put up your buildings, take care of animals, whatever. And somewhere along the line, they started pulling people off of those lands. They probably started even trying to tax these people and shit. No telling. I don't know because I didn't live that experience. But they started selling uh, pieces of property with houses on them to people around areas where they offered jobs. And so people would flock to these houses. And so people started paying. And then there was a period of time also where the people were going and, like along the railway. Because this even happened over by me, but I've seen more stories of this now. And there's a lot of ghost town kind of things because along the railway, then there was like a town would blow up and there'd be a lot of people and they'd pop up little houses and it could be like miners. And so they're all over here in this one area, like gold miners or whatever. And there's like a lot going on here. So they all pop up these little houses and they were real little houses. They were like little tiny houses in some cases and stuff, but they all pop up these little houses and then they go and work there. Then everything dries up and then everybody just leaves. And so, nobody's selling them or anything. It was just like, it wasn't all this stuff. Like where they came across, I think where they came across is that they could start selling us land was when they popped houses on them. And then they would say, well, they're selling you the house and you're allowed this much land with this house. And so they started the shenanigans somehow in this whole situation. So once they started the shenanigans with the houses and the property, and then add on the property taxes, and then you got to go through all this legal shit and all their stuff. Then we've bought into their program. Then we've been sucked in. And so then once we are sucked in, then they start driving them prices up and up and up and up to where it became unreasonable, where 60% of the people who, not 60% of the people are homeless, but that so many people can no longer afford to live in houses. And so they can't afford housing, they can't afford rentals either, apartments, anything. And so that's where you start seeing the collapse is happening. Like they've driven it out to where we can't afford to live. Like, and more people are struggling to try and keep it together in theirs. Husbands getting second, third jobs, wives getting, are doing everything they can which then also they can make these criminals like blue collar criminals, because then the people get so desperate in certain positions in jobs and they can offer things like that realtor who got involved in some corrupt bullshit because it's like you need more money or you want more money or I don't know how to explain it. It's like, so these people are all going on this road. Okay, so we got the rat race. And so we got the ones down here chugging along, let's say the white collar, like say the regular struggling class people. And then you have the blue collar. It's the ones who started making it. They married right, even though, they'll probably end up divorced. Like there's always, nothing is perfect. So you can't sit there and think, well, if I just would have married a doctor or whatever. Those guys get divorced all the time. They leave wives with fucking, bullshit. So this group of people, which it's kind of like this is where we have our situation, because we got lawyers, doctors, realtors, all these people who were making a lot of money, but see, they got involved in some crimes, because there's just like on the one system, the white collar system, then people can be pushed into surviving, stealing, become criminals just to try and survive. Up here, it's almost like a keeping up with the Joneses. Like, you're up here, you don't want to be down here. And so you'll do whatever it takes to stay up here. And then so they hook, line, and sinker you in on your moral compass. And so then you get sucked into doing things like these doctors, like the kickbacks are there. Well, And I had sent to my brother a couple videos. They've read or a couple of little things. One of them, oh yeah, because I wanted to talk about this too, was one of them is, I think I've left off some stuff, so I don't know. But one of the ones was, I said I sent that message because it just came to my head about the parasites and stuff. And I was like, well, you don't want to take this, don't want to take that, but how can they say something's wrong with tea? And so I said, you know, the wormwood tea. So I sent that message. It was read, but never, not responded to. And so then yesterday, my daughter, one of my daughters, sent me an Instagram short thing. So it's a video, but it's on Instagram. And it was a guy, and he said, cures this, you know, the word starts with a C, ends with an R. And so cures this, and puts the recipe, and he shows mixing it. It's two things. It is fresh squeezed lemon and baking soda, so bicarbonate. So you take like a teaspoon of baking soda, fresh squeeze 1 or 2 lemons, drink it, and then you get cured. And then so whatever it was, somehow when I think I was trying to take the videos off my screen, and it hit into the next one, which was artist, and he was saying there's a doctor in Mexico, and he is curing the C with using, oh, I meant to get it out because I have some, but anyways, it's food grade hydrogen peroxide. So you gotta get the food grade one, which they say get a 6%, and they may even say something about 12%. I can look it up, or you can look it up, or whatever. But so you get this food grade peroxide. Then you get a 6 to 8 glass of water, and you do 6 or 8 drops in it. So it's almost exactly the same situation with the CH dioxide, or the Cl, whatever, the stuff that I have, which I can show you that stuff too. I should have grabbed that. But anyways, so that, that is also, you take the water and you put a couple drops in every day. And so this doctor in Mexico, he has got all these people being cured by the hydrogen peroxide, a couple drops in water. And so I was like, oh, of course this makes so much sense, because it's the alkaline acidic level is why some people can grow that stuff so much and other people don't. Like I was growing all this, I swear to God, I was growing funky or something in my lungs, and that shit just went in and just blasted it. But but it's the alkaline acidic levels in our body, which over there, where I was, where it was so wet and stuff, it was like the prime place for things to grow, and the moisture and the humidity and stuff. And so it all depends on what you have and what's growing inside of you. But when you put that change that alkaline acidic base, so when you adjust it, so if you are like, just like the same thing with the swimming pool or any of these things. So if it's at 6.5 and you need it to be at a 9 or a 7 or whatever, then it blasts that shit. It can't live, because now you've disrupted its home. And so of course that makes sense, just to change your acidic levels inside your body. So all these different things are working. So I sent him that one, just as a screenshot, just with the recipe. Cures the C. This is the recipe. Just you know, it's like tiny thing. And so I sent it. It was read but not responded to. And then immediately when I saw that other one, I was like, oh. So I sent another one, and I said a doctor in Mexico is curing it with and I gave that recipe. I didn't say anything else. It's like, there's fucking shit going on, dude. You can get out there and you can fucking at least try this shit. Like, you know, if you're scared of the horse paste or the patches or whatever, and they're saying that. And then I saw a guy doing a video yesterday, and he was going in on artists and saying, like, you know, that's bullshit. And then people in the comments, oh, the chiropractor and all this shit. And it's like, oh my God, these people, it's so fucking annoying. He's not just his shit. He is a doc, he understands how to read studies, and he is going through studies. and showing the studies, what it shows. He has some, when they discovered the venom and shit, that was a whole fucking bunch of people involved. It wasn't just him. It was lab people. It was mortuary. It was a whole bunch of fucking people. And and he also said in his video, what it keeps going around that I just told my brother, all the sea is parasite, all of it. He said, and it's either parasite or it's snake stuff. But it's not just snakes. I mean, they've got venom out of all sorts of shit that they're putting into these things and stuff. So that is, you know, like people in America dying of king cobra. And that's where all these other people were involved in this study, where they started going, well, how can that be possible? There's not even any over here. And that's where they started figuring it out. They start looking into things and finding out, like, the shit that's really going on. And he shares it. And so, anyways, these people and this guy, he started showing that, oh, he claims the geos are gone within 72 hours of using these. And so he starts pulling up other studies, the same ones I think that my brothers are seeing, my sister are seeing, which my sister just out of the blue sent me an article yesterday. I started reading last night. And so I started reading it because I was about to go to bed, because it was about, I talked about her before too, the girl who I went to high school with, who supposedly had killed her mom and injured her dad. And I said, it didn't make any sense to me. I always thought that it was probably more like she came home, her dad had done it to mom, then the dad, maybe she was trying to stop him, or that he told her, you know, like he made a plan because he wanted her to take the fall because she was a minor. And that's what she was more like in school. Like, she was very quiet and passive. She hung out with all the popular people because she was really, really pretty and everybody liked her, but she was quiet. I thought she was quiet. She wasn't at all like some, you know, wild person. She was very, I don't know, like if you would see her, you would think like, oh, this is the kind of girl who goes to church every Sunday and stuff. So anyways, but then all of a sudden they say, oh yeah, she just went crazy, killed her mom, tried to kill her dad and stuff. And it was real violent, like it was real weird. And like, because when I started reading the article, I was like, oh, she's sitting in there cooking, and then all of a sudden her mom goes out to take out the garbage and she follows her out and just stabs her in the back. Like, that's kind of insane. And then the mom starts screaming, the dad comes, so she runs and gets one of these and starts blowing on him. I was like, nah, I just didn't ever buy it. I said, I think it's something to do with the dad doing something. Well, in the article, when they are, I haven't even finished it. It's super, super long. It's like an expose or something. But then when they were talking to her, she said that that's what really happened, was that her dad did it. And then when it came down to the court, the dad started going in on her and saying she was crazy and stuff. And that's where she was just like, oh. So, anyways, I haven't finished it yet, but it was like I just knew. I just knew, but that was the first time now I've had any confirmation on that. But anyways, but I knew she was not a fucking killer. I haven't read the whole thing. I just know. I totally believe her story is what makes more sense. And so let me think. Where was I? I was skipping around somewhere. Jump roping through the morning. Let's see. What was I gonna say? It was something else about something else. I think I was talking about something else. Just skipped over to there. But let me see if I can get back into some of the other things that I was gonna say, because oh man, it seems like there's like a whole bunch of stuff, but it's like I can't see deeper into it. It's always when it comes, it's like it almost like comes flying up to me. And so when it's like a whole bunch, but it's like this flittering of information. It's so much when something comes up and you can see it more clearly, then you can see it more in depth. And so that's why it's like, it's not like I can force it. It's not like I can see something. It's like I always feel like there's like certain things, certain messages or something that they want out there. And so those things will be more highlighted. And I wonder sometimes, like if I went in and I listened to all the things, if there's a running story that is going along, I don't know. But, but each day is just like talking about whatever comes up in front of me. So let's see, how long have I been talking? Let me think. So the weather, the rain, the food, the money, the housing. Yeah, we're the ones who have to start looking at it different. And the money is gonna crash because they had built it up so high that there's no foundation anymore, and so it's going to collapse. But in the collapse is where we're going to see it's not real. It was like monopoly money, but it was also like in a game that you couldn't win. But you could be immoral and be paid for being immoral, but you can't get ahead by trying to make your plan and stuff. But like I have said too, is when you're making your plan, that the universe is going to take you in the direction you're meant to go. It doesn't matter. They're not going to say, oh, well, look, she made a pretty good plan, let's just let her do her thing. No, because the whole fucking thing would set out into chaos. And we don't live in chaos. We live in a structured, but it is it's like a give and take. Like you can feel when the give or the take gets out of balance. But right now in our society, so many people are out of balance, and it's kind of like, well, we'll just accept it. Well, I'm crazy. Well, I'm crazy. All this. But we all have to come together and find our own balance and get ourselves more in tune with all of this different stuff. But anyways, it's on the micro, macro. And so everything needs this. If it needs it up here, it needs it down here. And so you just got to find the link of what it is that it is, if you understand what I'm saying. Maybe that's a little too vague. But anyways, so the money thing is gonna go, and then all these people are so freaked out about it. This one guy who was talking about the 11 or 7 countries no longer take the dollar. He was like, everybody better get out there and get your 401k, go buy gold or silver or whatever. And in the comments I said, yeah, you gotta go, because the currency will have no value, so it doesn't do you any good. Like, you want to pull your 401k, you want to pull all your money out of the bank, you want to put it in your mattress and stuff. It's the currency, it's the dollar bill has no value because it's fake fucking money. There's no backing to it. There's nothing that backed it. And when they did have the petrol dollar, where they were backed by the petrol, it was all shenanigans. It wasn't set. It was just to play laundry problem. And so it was corrupted. And so yeah, it's got to go because it's fucking us. And so but the people are so freaked out about it. But that's where we're going to go into asset back, and we're going to have solid things. We're not going to be having to pay for land like we are. I really don't see how they're going to be charging us for land once it starts going in this other direction. But I don't know how long it's going to take to get in this direction, because we've got the fucking people trying to show us that we're being poisoned and killed. Like, to me, it's like, okay, if you don't think that this shit is causing all of these autoimmune cancers, or all these things that people have, all these neurological things and stuff, if you don't think that being poisoned is causing it, what do you think? Like, and it's kind of weird, because it's like all these people who haven't lived a long time. Like, if you've lived a long time, you've seen the increase. You've seen, like, where we have all of this now that we never had before. And it's like, fucking, I don't understand. Are you so stuck on calculus that you can't do simple math? 1 + 1, 2. You just got 2 right here. It's like, you just look around, figure it out for yourself. It's like, where's your mind trapped that you can't see fucking reality, man? And so that's where, I don't know, are these people creating their own reality, go live this other experience? Are they gonna get with our reality? Are they gonna start seeing through this bullshit? I still think that there's going to be this big, awakening thing that's going to go on, but it's so weird how these people are so resistant to stuff. And something is itching my nose and my face. God, it's probably a fucking bug. I swear to God. I feel like I've got bugs going in my eyes, in my nose, like all over my skin. I feel like I'm just covered with little fucking bugs. So, and they're all like invisible bugs. Like, is it that they're spraying tons and tons of bacterias and shit on us? Fuck. And then they've made them all smart bacterias. I don't know. Shit is so fucking bullshit. But once we get to the one part of being more awakened and shit, and the stuff starting to change with the money and the land and whatnot, I don't see how they're going to be able to charge us for land. It doesn't make any sense to me how they could do that. I can see how they could charge us for materials. I can see how they can say you can't take more land than what you can work. You can't just take, like, say, well, I want 600 acres. This 600 acres is all mine because I just want it. I want that much room between me and all the people. I don't know. I think it's going to be more like, if you want stuff like that maybe there will be like, well, you have to pay for it or something. I don't know. I don't know how it'll work, but I think that each person will be allowed a certain amount of property or area that is your space. So I don't know. We'll see, but that's what I think. That's why, to me, all these different people who are homeless and stuff, it's not like the end. There's going to be a switch that's going to open doors, and so then things will start opening up. And then when the money thing crashes, the house's value is going to plummet. So yeah, you can sit there and be like, yeah, my house is worth $1 million. My house is worth $2 million. Mine's $3 million. Those ones are going to crash the hardest. That is going to plummet. Is going to go way down. Houses are going to have the value of, and I don't know, maybe, there will be some that will be $100,000 for a mansion or $60,000 for a mansion or something, but it's definitely going to be far, far distance from $1 million. But the one thing, so if my brother's house, the market falls before he sells his house, which most likely is going to be what goes down, then he's also got the problem of, the water rising there and the earthquakes. There's so many earthquakes going over there right now. Earthquakes going all over the place. And so once that goes, then, forget about that money. But if he can make it to the point where they sell and then try and go, if the market were to crash and they could still sell it, like somebody still wanted to live in California at this point, then it would be, say, like he got $40,000. He's thinking he's going to get, $1.1 million or $1.2 million or something, and he gets $40K for it. Then you would still, that $40K is going to go so much further. It's not going to be like the $40K that we have right now, where it's like, fuck, you can barely buy a car. No, $40K is going to go really far. So that's one thing too, is that you got to keep in mind that the whole scale's going to tip. It's not going to be like this part's going to fall and you're still going to need this much. No, it's going to go. It's going to level out to where it's going to be more reasonable, where there's actually, like, you can get ahead, you can do this, you can get a place and stuff. And it's like our God-given right. And so everything has to go kind of into that. That's like a part of going into the light, the Christ consciousness, the heaven on earth is going into what is kind of like our general rights as being living beings and birthed into a place. In this place, I get to have an experience. And this is what so many people don't understand about being birthed here and being born here, and that you are here for a window of experience. You're here just with a group of people to go through an experience so that you learn and stuff like that. And there's so much violence and stuff going on in some of these groups. so much extreme. But one thing too is, remember, in the group, so in the soul group, in the people who have contact in the close orbit, then those ones are affected. They don't just hear these horrific stories and are just like, oh, it's horrible. They are affected in a different kind of way. So they're affected in ways that help them grow and wake up and all of that. So some of these really horrific things going on, it has a way bigger significance in that soul group than it does to us. To us, it's just like one horrific thing after another going on. But the players in the story, it's a different thing for them. Even like the ambulance guy, you know, whatever part he's playing, if it's drawing attention to things, if it's to help his family wake up, whatever it is, all of this is they're all individual, like, soul story group things. So it's much more than just a horrible story, movie of the week kind of situation. Which I just saw a guy who makes movies, and whatever, he's got a movie on Amazon. And he said, I think he said it's on like 4 different streaming, 4 things. I don't remember what all he was saying. But he said, and you think, how much do you think I got? 0. He said, most of the people who work in Hollywood are poor as fuck. They don't have any money. He said there's this one director or producer or somebody he knew, and he also works at like Starbucks or something. Like, the people can't make it because there's no fucking money in it. And that's why I said about these people who become like the big stars and stuff. I think they control their money. Like, the people aren't all getting rich there. But the people that they do try and take over and use them as idols and stuff, I think that they control their money more than what, you know, us, the general public. You know, we think they're living the high life. Like, look at what they've got going. Oh yeah, and Kanye, he's just coming out now. He's saying, you know, he just did one blowy on his cousin. Before, his other thing was like, yeah, I've been blowing my cousin since I was little till I was 14. Now it's like, oh, it's one time. It was, and he starts saying, you know, when you don't know right from wrong and stuff. He was saying a whole bunch of stuff, but I didn't listen to the whole thing. I was just like, well, for one thing, we do know right from wrong when we go in touch to ourselves. That's what's blown my mind through a lot of this stuff. Like, that was a part of my first part of my awakening, when I started being like, oh my God, there's people who don't kill people just because the Bible tells them not to. What? I was like, what about what's inside you? Where is your moral what? That tripped me out when I started realizing that. And so when I heard him say, you know, when you were raised around people doing all the wrong thing, you don't know what's right. And I was like, well, we know inside, you know, you can sit there and feed off of people doing the wrong thing and think it's okay because they're doing the wrong thing. You can do it, but you know inside of you. You know inside of you. And so, yeah, follow what's inside of you. Don't just go and join into the group. Like, there is no, you know, I mean, lots of people say, well, I didn't know, you know, I was raised in this or whatever. I knew, like, I mean, and I'm not trying to say anything mean on these people. I'm just saying you can get in touch with that part of yourself. Because I knew when my dad came at me the first time, I took off running. I was like, fuck, I know. Like, hell no. What the hell's wrong with you, fella? And I'm running in my bedroom, slamming the door. Get the fuck away from me, you weirdo. And I was little. So, yeah. We have an internal knowing of right and wrong. We just got to tap into it. And it's where you see this whole society is just fucking lost out there. But it is kind of like Kanye. He's trying to make sure, like, they can't spill anything on him. He'll spill it all. He'll tell them, you can't hold anything over me anymore. Like, I'll tell it all. It's like, that's the best way to go. It's like, don't let there be secrets that people can spill on you. Just fucking say whatever you gotta say. And, you know, and yeah, you're not the only kid on this planet is blowing his cousin. So, fuck, don't, you know, like, there's plenty of fucking play going on with all sorts of kids. Maybe him talking about it is going to get more people to talk about it. So kids can see, like, oh, this is going to bother me when I grow up. Oh, I didn't know that. So, anyways, there's certain conversations sometimes that need to be had, and there's lots of things that we don't want to face that are happening right below, right behind us. And so there's, lots of shit going on that kids think, like, this won't bother me. Yeah, I can do this. Who cares about this? Well, grow up and you'll find out. You'll be real bothered by some of the choices you've made. So, yeah. And so anyways, back on this dollar thing. So it's going to go, and there's not going to be any hiding the money to keep it. What you want to do, if you want to get your 401k out or get any of your money out of the bank or something, you've got to buy a solid asset. You've got to buy something that has value, that's going to go up. And the two things that are definitely going to go up is gold and silver. I don't know how much more gold will go up. When we go on the gold standard, you'd think like, oh, it's going to have value, but it's going to stay kind of stabilized. The silver has been repressed. That's why I say the silver is your best investment, is because it's been so repressed. But it will probably have a longer time of growing. Like, I just saw these guys getting real excited because they said, oh, silver's going to probably go up to 50 or 75 an ounce. I'm like, bitches, I'm planning on it's going from 1,000 an ounce to 10,000 an ounce. Like, especially, like, you got to hold on to this because there's going to be more with the technology. And the word on the street and the technology is that there's going to be this silver thread. There's going to be something that's going to have great value. I don't know if it's, we're going to start wearing clothes that are like armor or something. I have no idea. And there's some people who they were on to, what is his show? Why do I always forget his name when I start to say it? Travis Tyler, the news guy that was on Fox, Tucker. So Tucker was doing an interview with this lady, and so she and some other guy did all this investigation into what's below us, and they found, all this system that we all know about, but that there's also this travel system underneath. And so she's saying, I don't know, you can go listen to the interview to see what she's saying, because what I picked up on could be something different than somebody else picks up on. But anyways, like, we've got a whole city underneath us. Anyways, if shit goes down up on the surface, there's a whole place underneath. But also that can be opening up the beginnings of our travel faster, because they do have those train things that go super fast under there. And so, anyways, we'll see. But more and more keeps coming to the surface, more and more things being talked about. And that is the slow part of the awakening, the plowing through. So you have like some of the people carrying information, plowing through, dropping out their information. It ripples out into the other people, which starts opening minds, except for we got a lot of really closed ones. And then it starts dropping out from other places, like it's going to be full-on disclosure. But it's like they've got to kind of open people up to it, because it's going to be so intense. That's what that one guy was even saying too. But you can kind of know, you can kind of see like how slow it's going, because that, when I heard that guy, I was like, oh, that makes sense, because it's how slow it's going and how much horrific shit has got to be shown. And oh yeah, on the mermaid thing. This is so fucking gross. Yeah, so these people, once you get so much money, it's like, well, what can make me feel something? I've got it all. I've done it all. I've been it all. Like, there's nothing left. So they're going to go out and find exotic things to eat. Well, let's eat a native person. Let's eat this. Let's eat it. Like these wackadoos. And this person who was telling this story is somebody who chases this exotic food thing. Like, he wants to go try all this weird shit. Like, I just saw something about the dog tray, the dog, I just fucking, I don't, so fucking gross. I don't, all I want to eat is some fruits and vegetables. Like, fuck this other shit, man. So he hears about this food thing. Like, these rich people are having this food thing, and it's going to be ultra unique or something. I don't remember what the verbiage was in this thing. So and it's $50,000 if you want to go to this thing. So he pays. So, I mean, I don't know who the hell this guy is, but he pays $50,000 for a dinner. So he goes, and it's the people out there in these, like the guy who's hosting the party, he is a white suit, like, and doing a toast and saying all this weird shit. So then when they bring the meal out, so he describes it, and it's half, God, my nose is so itchy, half human, half fish. It's like the tail part was fish, and the upper part was human, but not like a humanoid. Like, it had arms and stuff, but they don't look like us. They kind of are scary looking. And I don't remember the hair, but anyways, he was talking about like what the skin looked like and stuff, and the tail, and so then they in the smell, like they always describe the smell, and then the see, I think she's laying out there on this thing, she's dead, and they've cut open her chest, and he was saying something about the stuff inside, and then they start passing out these fillets of her, and he was talking about like the taste and the smell and stuff, but he said once you ate it, it was like a drug or something, what I think kind of like the chrome, because once you take that stuff, you get all this big adrenaline rush, because in order to get the chrome stuff, that is like why they terrorize them. Like, I'm seeing people now talking about that stuff, the frazzle. They like, fuck, man. Oh my God. It just takes so long. It's like, fuck, I'm talking about this like 5 years ago, and people are just now. It's like, God dang. Oh yeah, that's what when the ChatGPT thing says, because the girl said something about it's 2050. She told her ChatGPT, it's 2050. Can you tell me something? And she said, the chat said, oh, so you made it through 2037? Oh, okay. And so then she starts saying, well, what's going to happen in 2037? And it's all this stuff, like what I've been saying. But so she said that the chat says that it splits off in two different things. There's a bunch of people that leave. And so she was trying to ask more about that. But this chat guy said it was going to happen in 2037, where you got other people saying it's going to happen in 2027. So I don't know. I just know it's somewhere up ahead where all this shit is going to be changing. And there's going to be a big, I don't know, rapture situation, something. And even though I think it's low vibration splitting from high vibration, but okay, the mermaid thing. So when you take that stuff, it's supposed to be this really strong drug, the adrenaline stuff, and because it's all powered with all this supercharged adrenaline, so you drink it and you get somebody else's like rush, which is so fucking creepy to me, so motherfucking creepy to me. And I just seen Johnny Depp and that whole thing in that, wasn't it called Leaving Las Vegas? What was that called? The one where he's this druggy guy, but there's stories of him being the main guy at some of these rituals too. So I don't know. He sounds like he could be really warped, but like to drink something like that is somebody else's pain and suffering, and to get off, I don't know, it's fucking so weird. But so that's what the mermaid thing was. So you eat it, and he said all of a sudden it was like, I don't know, like he could get her memories, her feelings and stuff. He could feel like going through the ocean. It was a whole bunch of stuff. He goes into all this description of all this stuff that he was feeling and stuff, and it was like you couldn't even sit up. It was like it was overpowering you, like doing a drug, like it's like taking someone else's essence. And I think that is a part of what has driven the cannibal thing, like back with the tribes and stuff. Like they would take over, they would kill them, and then they would take their essence or something. They would devour them. And so I don't know. Yeah, some of these people who do this shit, I don't know, are they just primitive fucking weirdo people that just keep going for centuries? Another thing too is somebody was doing one of those videos showing all these different movie stars and these historical pictures where it's like, that is the same person. How is this possible? And but going on the thing about clones, and that's what I was saying too, is like, if they've taken DNA and then that's how they redistributed, like they took, back wherever, if somebody died and they took some pieces of their skin or something and kept it, and then when they decide to do the reset, and they just go to their their lab and pull out all these ones and then make all these babies out of them. And so that's why I was saying, there's a bunch of clones out here. I don't know. I mean, there's a bunch of us that look alike and shit, so it makes sense. They make a bunch of clones out of that, and then, so I don't necessarily, because I know there was people who thought some of these movie stars were just like vamps that just kept going and on and on and on, or stealing parts or whatever. So I don't know. I think it's more likely that it's like they took parts from people and made clones, and then when they did their reset, they made a whole bunch of people out of these other people. So I don't know. And don't forget also that one thing that said in order to have the clones, you have to have the original. So do they have like originals in some kind of capsules around? Like, man, I don't know. That's why when they say like shit is going to get really dark and hard to comprehend, it's gonna get way darker than just like, oh, the devil, and all these people are just saying it's the devil, and oh, I was like, you guys, like, this world is so much different than what people think. Okay, now I've been talking a really long time. So, anyways, yeah, they're all a bunch of fucking weirdos. Like, I'm no way would I fucking be eating a mermaid, especially even knowing, like, there was some more stuff that he said. I can't remember, but all it was like merging in with what Corey Good said about the aquatic beings and how much they hate us. And it's like, well, look at why. Like, fuck, man. And so I don't know. There's just a lot of warped shit, and there's more and more shit that's gonna be coming to the surface, and it's gonna be out there. It's gonna be out there. We got fucking possible dragons flying around. We got giants coming out. We got all sorts of shit. So that's the direction you gotta see. This place is like a magical place, and once they start taking it over and shoving the magic back in order to make their little creepy lab world so that they could fucking test off of us. But now we're gonna go back to the magic world, and that's where we want to be, back in the magic, back where you're not scared of giants and they're not scared of you. You're not scared of unicorns and they're not scared of you. We're just all live in peace. That's why I gotta live in peace with the crickets, and they're scary looking little bitches. So anyways, let's look at my hair. Look at that situation. And I'm still doing the mask 10 minutes every day, so I don't know, hopefully it's gonna keep making my skin improve. So that's the hair situation. I don't know if you can see hair sticking up there, and the tooth. And I'm doing that. I have gotten more where I can swish it around for a long more, maybe 2 minutes or something. And I still have to add water to it. It's hot. It's super hot. So anyways, that's just your warning. If you're gonna get it, I've warned you, it's fucking hot. But anyways, if you're any of these sicknesses you're dealing with, there's so many things out there that are cheap as fuck. And of course, the people who are making you sick, who are getting kickbacks, I mean, where are they gonna benefit? You going down to market and getting something that's gonna cost you $10 and you getting better. Like, how are they going to benefit? That's the moral problem, the moral dilemma we have going here. And then they get sucked into not looking at things, not looking outside and trying to figure things out, instead of just misleading us. You know, a lot of people is misleading people all the time. I feel like that looked like I had a horn, this little devil horn. Because there's people who think, like, because of the stuff I believe and say, that I am bringing that energy. It's up to you. You decide. I'm not going to force myself on it. I'm not going to force anybody to believe whatever. You decide what you believe. And I can share what I believe, and you can decide, take it or leave it. It's up to you. So, anyways, but I will continue to say, the best thing you can do is work on yourself and learn to love yourself. Learn to love everybody else and learn how to have the day that you want to have by focusing on what you want to focus on, not focusing on the shit, focus on the good stuff. And that's what I'm going to do today. And it's a challenge on some days, but that's what you got to do. You got to do. So anyways, we'll talk about it again tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye.